If there was one thing a boomer baby could count on, it was train-themed toys for the holidays. But must a favorite item, transported over the years to basement-challenged Florida, just end up on a bookcase? Not by a long shot. There are at least 10 model railroad clubs around Central Florida, covering all scale sizes and all modelers' interests, from building and decorating to running. In fact, one, the Titusville Area Model Railroad Club, has a setup for 3 popular scales: N, HO, the most common, and O.
These layouts are all operating. We invite guests to come and see us. Bring your trains. We've got a place to run them. The N gauge is a work in progress right now. The wiring is not complete on it. The HO is in a little better shape, although we have just recently completed a full overhaul on a lot of track work on it. So we're bare bones on scenery in a lot of places.
The club considers the O gauge layout complete, but
any model railroad layout is never finished. They're always changing something.
Titusville is not the only club with different scaled layouts. The Orlando N-Trak Club has been working on its big layout in their building since the late 1990s. It's complete enough that they can hold operating sessions when they mimic the running of a real railroad.
We're running the trains on schedule with a remote dispatcher who can only tell what's going on by the reports he's getting. A lot of this railroad has been set up to limit the visibility, so crews are in the dark as to what they're doing, and they're using a warrant system, which is written orders that they're receiving from the dispatcher to proceed to different sections of track.
Yes, traffic jams are part of the fun.
Train 223 to dispatcher.
The club has started a new project, an HO layout along one wall with an ingenious spiral to get trains from one shelf to the next.
Down to the bare bones, they could use a lot of help getting it finished up.
Building is naturally part of any model railroad, but in Volusia County, a small group had to take that to a new level, literally building a second floor in a barn to house the Blue Springs Model Railroad. The group of fewer than a dozen serious modelers avoids the trappings of a formal club.
We decide everything on the mob rule. If everybody likes the idea, that's what we do.
The result is an eclectic little world.
This is a fun railroad. You run steam, you run diesel, all yours. There's old towns, there's mountains, hills, there's large city, large switchyard, very large switchyard. There's a steel mill, coal mines, power plant. There's a couple buildings on the layout that are actual buildings.
Real or imagined, the modelers pride themselves on attention to detail. For one of the area's largest layouts, inspiration comes from a special time.
What we did was choose an era that was both early diesel engine as well as the overlap of the steam engines, back around 1950-55.
And a specific region.
Basically the areas of West Virginia, Eastern Tennessee, Eastern Kentucky, Pennsylvania, Western Maryland, things of this nature. Basically the coal area, Appalachia.
The result is scenery from city to mountains for every interest. With a sophisticated signaling system and individual control of each engine, the club hosts some serious operation sessions, right down to a dispatcher,
southbound onto the number 2 main, you're going to come into Greenbrier,
and scale model time. On the other side of Orlando, another HO layout blends time and space as well. On the one hand, it accommodates the memories of 86-year-old Ben MCKAY, who grew up in Ohio in an era of trolley cars.
We were about a block away from one of the interurban railways, and you will see a model of that car sitting right here. My mother said that I used to hear the whistles even before I was old enough to talk.
Ben's trolley runs side by side with a state-of-the-art high-speed train, a favorite of 8-year-old Forrest Stoner, growing up in Orlando in an era not quite dominated by electronic toys.
I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just something I kind of like about trains.
Forrest is the youngest, but not the only youngster showing an interest.
We've got, I believe now, about 9 junior members. And matter of fact, in the last couple of weeks, we picked up 3 more.
A small HO club in Volusia County, the DeLand and Atlantic, could use some of that youthful infusion. They've had to downsize their 23-year-old layout recently.
We're down to about 6 members now. Quite senior. That's probably one of the biggest problems in the railroad industry, is that we haven't been bringing enough younger people into the club.
That's rather sad, because all the clubs offer so much of interest.
You learn history, geography, mechanics, electronics. There's just so much involved in it if you want to get involved.
Beyond facts, the Meadowbrook Church of Ocala supports a group to instill social values.
We believe in family, we believe in relationships, and what better avenue to bring our hobby into the church.
This group is a modular club where individuals build and decorate sections of a layout to exact specifications.
We can go anywhere in the country and hook our modules up to other people's modules and run trains on them.
The village's Model Railroad Club, with over 130 members, has modules in all the popular scales. Modules make it easy for space-challenged retirees to practice their hobby.
You can build an empire in a very small space.
And you can model a not-so-small empire. For their annual convention, the Florida East Coast Railway Society unpacks and sets up a compressed version of its namesake line. It's replete with recognizable landmarks, such as the Jupiter Bridge.
It actually lifts and lowers. When you see it, the block signals will stop a train. When the bridge is open, you will realize that this in miniature is truly a marvel.
As realistic as modelers can make scenery, for some there is nothing like the real thing. That's the case for G-Scale modeler Charlie Bell.
Trains outside are a whole lot more fun than trains in the basement or the garage, because you get to be outside and enjoy everything outside. Real dirt, stone, water feature.
But he admits it may not be for everyone.
And here in Florida, between bugs, heat, rain, humidity, leaves, and hurricanes, it's a challenge.
Outdoors or in, the large-scale trains may be the first to catch the eye. A gateway train for the hobbyist, if you will. How to choose? Perhaps the best advice comes from young Forrest Stoner.
You pick a scale and I guess just try it out.